Yo, mic check, mic check. Hey, man, Joe Budden, he got away with it. He got a Spotify deal. But, yo, welcome to episode 9 of the Intentionally Foul podcast with your boy B Live from the Champ City and my bro Los.
You
from Nobody Cares.
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Not a damn thing. Do you want to explain yourself? Can you at least apologize for...
All right. I would like to have a formal apology for last week. We are a week behind, and that was due to...
You are. Not me. You.
You didn't fucking record an episode.
Well, I was available.
Did you record an episode?
You were not.
Did you record an episode?
I was thinking about it.
Exactly. You didn't. So, for my absence... I will make it up to you guys. I'll give you guys a couple of shout outs or whatever.
That's not enough.
All right.
Trash.
Well, send me your Cash App names and I'll Cash App you some cash.
That's ridiculous that you have to pay your fans for your sins.
How else am I supposed to turn that fucking fan off?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Since you came in dripping in sweat.
Man, it's all beeping and shit. Just put it on silent.
Shit.
But yeah. So it won't happen again. We will continue to give you consistency and good content. And why is it still? Go ahead.
That's my fucking PlayStation, all right? So for people that have PlayStations and they've had them for a long time, they know exactly the fucking struggle that I go through. That beeping right there, that's the fucking PlayStation trying to eject the game. Can you believe it?
Are you serious?
Just imagine if we were back like in the fucking witch trial days. And our PlayStation started fucking beeping. Mm-hmm. They think we're fucking we have a witch in the house or that it's possessed or some shit like that.
Oh.
But it's just a fucking PlayStation trying to eject the game.
Wow, that's stupid.
I try to look up some
solutions.
Yeah, some troubleshooting bullshit. They gave me some shit where I hold the power button for 20 seconds with it disconnected or some shit, and that worked for like 3 months, and then it has reversed to this. Then it started right back up. It's going to cost me like $60-$70 to ship it and get it back, see what the fuck is going to be wrong with it. I might as well just buy a new one. Yeah. And I said, fuck this. I'm writing this out all the way till the PlayStation 5 or whatever the fuck happens. Didn't I fucking tell you? Don't fucking... God damn, dude. You don't fucking listen. Shit. This is crazy, man. Have a fucking fan on for this guy. Turn it off.
No, because I thought it was. I thought it was the fan I was beeping.
God damn it! Don't fucking call me out on my PlayStation. Shit.
Whatever.
Anyway.
And I have a PlayStation too.
You don't. Yeah.
I don't play it. Yeah. I don't really play it, and I got an Xbox, but I don't even know why I got that shit.
Why?
Just to have it.
That's fucking ridiculous.
I mean, I got a good deal on it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you still... Well, it's a little past 9/11. We should have done one for 9/11, but obviously you're too busy for 9/11. But it's 13? So I think we have to pay our respects to 9/11. We usually do this on Thursdays, so today's the day we got to pay our respects. So, moment of silence. Don't open your damn mouth, please. Okay, now you can speak.
I was holding my breath. I don't know why.
Well,
stupid. I know.
In remembrance of them, I was going down a fucking wormhole on YouTube. You know when you watch one video and it fucking leads to another and leads to another. And I came across mysterious deaths of 9/11 witnesses. And this is just like a YouTube video of witnesses that have died. And it's a fucking ridiculous amount of people that I guess were eyewitnesses or that were there, has something to do with 9/11.
Firsthand.
Yeah, they all mysteriously ended up dead for some miraculous reason.
Strange.
Yeah, very fucking strange for the people that say the government didn't have something to do with it. But I took notes as I was watching it just so... I'm not saying fucking... Well, yeah, I am saying the government had to have been fucking in on it just because all the shit that I'm seeing of all these people, I got tired of writing them. I realized in this fucking age, this technology age now, you don't fucking write anymore. I don't write anymore. So I wrote like 7 pages, and my fucking hand was hurting. So in total, I have counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people that were really close to fucking 9/11 that mysteriously died. One was. Do you have anything to say while I look at the most interesting ones, man? all of them are pretty dope, but
I remember when 9/11 happened. I think I was in. Damn, what class was that? I know I was in high school. It was my teacher, Mr. Edmonds, and I forgot what class he taught. It was one of my favorite classes. Mr. Edmonds got me out of a lot of shit. And somebody told him to put on the news. And at that time, I mean, we were young. How would I have to have been? Like 15. We were watching it, and it didn't really dawn on me until, like, later on in the week.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out that some of the kids at my high school, they had families on those planes, and they died. And I'm like, damn, bro, like, that shit kind of hit home. But I mean, I still don't honestly believe that the stories that are being told are 100% true. Not even 50% true. It's all about what the media shows us, and that's content control. You know, because we're going to believe whatever we're told. Or whatever we want to believe, whatever pacifies us. Because the way those planes were set up, and it was like, oh, or even when the Pentagon won, and the Pentagon was supposed to be like this super, super like Fort Knox building made out of concrete. And working at LAX, I know that these planes are made out of aluminum. And whatever size plane that they said hit was it Pentagon? I was going to say Octagon. I'm so stupid. There was no debris of any seats or anything like that.
Right.
No wing debris, no nothing.
Yeah, we went over this a little bit. We went over it in depth the other time, but so I'm going through some of my notes and shit, and there's just some weird fucking deaths. For example, I liked this one. This lady, her name was Beverly Eckert, Eckert. Her husband died in 9/11. She didn't believe the story. She didn't believe the story that the government gave them, or the stories that's like been released to the media. She and some families that also were involved in 9/11 organized for disclosure of the 9/11 facts for 9/11 lawsuit against the U.S. government, and the government offered them money to keep them quiet.
Wow.
So they received them a private, like a certain amount of money. They denied it. I'm not sure, they didn't take it, obviously. And then Eckert died in a mysterious commuter airplane crash, February 12th, 2009. Week before she died, she met Obama.
Really?
Yeah. Who knows if that's a coincidence? Another one. I don't like that one. That was stupid. Well, not stupid, but I'll say it anyway. Kenneth Johanneman. He was a janitor at the World Trade Center. He reported explosions in the basement and upper floors. He rescued someone who received burns from an explosion at the base of the building, not the top of the building like was recorded. On September of 2008, he died from an apparent suicide, gunshot to the head. Suicide note said he killed himself because he was evicted from his home, or his apartment. And it also states that Kenneth, the janitor, he had plenty of family, and one of his family members had already offered him a place to stay. That funny?
How did he get evicted?
He probably couldn't pay his apartment or whatever, so they evicted him.
So they fucked around with his money.
No. Well, let's just say he probably got into financial times. Maybe, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe they did fuck with his money or some shit like that. But supposedly on the suicide note, it said he killed himself because he didn't have a place to go. He had just got evicted. But I guess according to the family, they stated that they had just offered him a place so they can move in with his family. Another one, Michael Doran, he was a lawyer for the victims of 9/11. He volunteered his services for free to help the victims of 9/11 to receive compensation. He died April 28th, 2009. A single-engine plane crash in Ohio.
Man, they checking niggas off. Like
Yeah. Some guy, Chris Landis, he was a filmmaker. He made a film called Pentagon. What do you call it? He went around asking questions. He got a photo collection of unreleased photos from the Pentagon crash. A week after the filmmakers, himself and somebody else, obtained witness testimony from a gas station that was close by, Chris committed suicide. Oh, and one that I thought was pretty fucking dope, Bertha Champagne, babysitter for the 9/11, one of the 9/11 perpetrators, Marvin Bush, the Bush family related to fucking George Bush. Marvin, the younger bro of George, was a director of Suricom Strategics, a Kuwaiti and Saudi-backed company until June 2000. He would provide electronic security for the World Trade Center before the attack. Dooley's International. That was the flight that took from Flight 77 that took off from the airport from Dooley's International, whatever. Flight 77 was one of the flights that fucking crashed. 9/11, Marvin Bush was on the board of the insurance company for World Trade Center. Bertha was crushed to death by her own car in the Bush's driveway, October 10th, 2003.
What?
Yeah. Ain't that funny? Why did they kill her? She fucking hear something she wasn't supposed to hear?
Yeah.
In their own fucking driveway. Did you ever hear about that?
No.
That funny?
No.
It's crazy, huh?
No, that's...
And they killed her right after 9/11. It was 2003, 2 years later.
Yeah, they X'd her right on out of there.
Yeah. So maybe she heard something in the home, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
because you're the babysitter or the nanny,
yep.
you know, you're always in close quarters.
Another one, Paul Smith. He was a chopper pilot for one of the fucking helicopters that was flying around the fucking thing when it happened. And a cab ran him over when a black unidentified car ran the taxi off the road, and the taxi ran that guy over.
Wow.
That was in October 7th, 2007.
That sounds like some shit from the movies, bro.
After that shit happened, the cameraman of the helicopter refused to talk to anyone or anybody about what he saw that day when they were flying in the helicopter. Is that crazy?
Yeah, he didn't want to be next.
And it goes on and on, dude, to Deborah Pelfrey. She was a prostitute that was fucking around with one of the politicians. She died April 15, 2008.
From chlamydia?
No, suicide.
Damn.
Yeah, man. The list goes on and on and on of fucking people that have something to do with 9/11 that have unfortunately passed away. So is that coincidence?
No.
That's crazy, huh?
I mean, even like certain movies, like I've seen, damn, I don't even know what movie that is. But if you know certain things, especially if it's like, just like, what's that guy that you told me about, that they removed all his,
Alex Jones.
Yeah. My mom's actually knows about him. And she was like, yeah. Most of that stuff he probably is saying is true. Mm-hmm. Because if they wanted, if it was so untrue, like, why not keep it up there?
Right.
But they don't want to stir the pot. I've been heavy on this stir the pot thing.
But. Don't start ranting on and on. But yeah, that was just our little
what the fuck are you talking to?
the little comment about 9/11. So God bless.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the government was in on it. So what are you gonna do?
The government controls a lot.
They control you.
No, they don't.
They run your shit.
Oh, they don't. Speaking of, I was asking around for certain topics, and I had a topic right in front of me.
Oh shit, right here.
Not really.
It says right there, Osaka. You know who the fuck Osaka is?
Who is Osaka?
Well, that's the girl that beat Serena Williams.
Oh yeah, I didn't know her name.
Fucking unprepared.
What?
It's ridiculous. She's fucking right there, right in front of you. You said, no, that's not her. That's her right there.
I just said, okay, I didn't know her name. But yeah, so yeah, Osaka. I guess she's how old is she? Like 22.
Yeah, she's fairly young.
And she beat Serena over the weekend, and it was like this big controversy saying that the ref said that Serena was cheating or whatnot. But apparently, to you, you said well she was clearly getting beat. First off, Serena don't get beat.
She was getting beat.
Did you watch the? What's up with your socks?
What's wrong with them?
God damn.
Well, one of them's gray and the other one's black. They're both Nike though, at least. Fuck you want me to do?
All right, but you said that she was clearly getting beat, so you watched it.
Oh, I watched the highlights of it because obviously they put a lot of coverage on it because of how much attention it got. The first set, I'll pull up because I don't want to sound like a fucking moron more than I already am.
Yep.
I'll pull up the actual numbers, but I want to say the first set was like 6-4, and then the second set when she lost, it was like 6-3 or something like that. So
yeah, I was watching a little bit of it.
She was getting ran, no? Is that not getting beat?
Well, I think it was more so she was the ref was trying to question her character.
The whole game?
They called her a cheater, bro.
I know,
but I don't think that Serena has to cheat. But I mean, she's always under fire.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Even,
it was Osaka 6, or the first round or first quarter, whatever the fuck it's called, 6-2, dominated her.
Yeah, but Serena is older, bro.
I understand, but and then 6-4 was when she lost.
It's all right. I mean, hey, she's still a legend in my book.
No, of course, I'm not doubting. I'm not going against that for 1 second. But I did not watch the match, so I don't know what was happening during the match. Well, like, was the referee fucking with her the whole time? I don't. Do you? You say you watched a little bit. What do you
watched
think?
a little bit. No, I'm just saying, like, even in I guess the female tennis sport, women's tennis, excuse me. She's been drug tested the most.
Of course.
It's like, why? Because she's that much of a brolic beast. She perfected her craft. Yeah, everyone's going to take an L sometime in their life. But to always drug test her, like, I don't think, I think that's God-given. Straight up and down like 6 o'clock.
Right.
But she lost. I'm okay with that. Everyone loses.
Yep.
But don't run it into the ground. And someone drew a picture. Some fucktard. Let me pull this shit up right now, bro.
I know exactly what picture you're talking about. Where she's like jumping in the air.
Yeah,
and like,
bro.
It's a cartoon.
And dude was like talking
portraying her that she's like a crybaby.
Yeah, and it was, and I found that shit very, very disrespectful, bro.
Why?
Because she wasn't crying at the fact that she lost. She was crying at the fact that she was being accused of cheating. She can lose. I don't think Serena is a sore loser. But if you question someone's character,
right,
that's when it gets serious.
Right.
And so the guy, hold on, let me roll through these text messages. Excuse me. He's some Australian cartoonist.
Right.
And so after he released that picture, he was getting death threats because, you know, we don't fuck around with Serena. Serena's the queen. I'm letting you know right now.
Like Tiger Woods.
No. We don't fuck with Tiger like that.
Why not?
For what? We don't give a shit about Tiger.
He's the
fucking... I think in a racial draft, we traded him to fucking somebody else.
In the Dave Chappelle show?
yeah. But Serena quoted, she said, I didn't cheat to win. I don't cheat to win. I'd rather lose. Straight up. That is a woman of integrity. I love her.
I agree.
But what's this guy's name? Mark Knight.
The Australian...
the Australian guy. And you can pull it up. Whenever you put the YouTube up, he put up this picture. I know you've seen it.
Yes, Your Majesty.
But just to go ahead and credit what I have to say. But yeah, that shit kind of pissed me off, man. I don't like that shit at all.
I didn't read too much into it because obviously it's probably an artist that's trying to fucking create fucking shock, right? So,
but...
and it's also fucking racist as well. The only other thing that I saw was, I guess somebody on Twitter was talking shit to him, and he responded that it wasn't racial by any means, and this is proof. He also did, back a long time ago, I guess, he had done a similar picture about a male, because I think he was saying, well, it's not even that it was racial, it's that she was fucking, that's because she's a woman, right? Because
I think it was more racial than anything.
Really? I thought it was more about women because she was.
Or you could say
she was. Yeah, sexist. Excuse me, because she was saying that guys complain and do way more shit than she did, and they're held to a fucking to a different standard.
I feel you.
So I think that's what it was. I think that's how the tweet went. That a guy was talking shit. I think it was a woman was saying that's sexist and shit like that. But only to his defense. Again, I'm not defending this fucking guy. I'm just telling you what he tweeted back was a picture of that he did in the past of a male tennis player doing the same shit. I think in the cartoon he's like breaking the racket or some shit like that.
Yeah, but if you have passion about your sport,
of course,
you're gonna do things.
Of course, I think also. It possibly was a sexist picture, but also he probably did it on purpose again for fucking shock value, so he can fucking get more attention. But he did it also at the fucking stupidest time, like that's fucking ridiculous, especially during the Me Too movement and all this other shit.
Yeah, never, and women's rights. So
it's never should, but it's just in the news right now,
But they said, I read another thing that they said that she was throwing a tantrum.
They just yes, of course he fucking portrayed it like that.
Yeah, bro. And
that's stupid.
He's
stupid.
Shit pisses me off.
But she's dope. She's amazing. Yeah. But yeah, that guy's a fucking moron, and he got what he wanted, which was attention.
Yeah, but he got death threats.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's the attention that he wanted. Sidebar. How about those Raiders?
Oh man. Hey. Like I said, and
how about those Raiders?
We got to bring up football. That's what I wanted to fucking do. I know some people on here. Well, they better start gambling. Gambling is one of the things that's going to become legal in every state. Mm-hmm. So I like to gamble on football. And I'm good at it.
I just joined FanDuel.
You're an idiot. So I'm talking about real gambling, betting on teams and shit.
You're an idiot.
So I'm gonna start putting out my fucking picks. You can do your picks as well. We'll have a list of the football teams, who's gonna play, and we'll see the spread. You know how the spread works, yeah?
Yes, I'm not stupid.
Okay, so you can make your picks, I'll make mine, and then we'll see who's better.
That's fine.
So you can fucking see how bad you are.
No, I'm not bad. You're a Raiders fan.
Because
you're dirty and you're bad.
Your fucking football knowledge is atrocious.
Whatever. Anyways, and this week's hot topic, it actually came out, was it yesterday? Apple had a whole little press release, because anytime, everyone knows this, when Samsung comes out with a new phone, right behind it is Apple. And I was reading the comments on social media, more so, I actually got onto my Facebook. I got right back off, because I realized why the fuck I'm about to deactivate it. That everyone is like, oh my God, you guys are going to pay fucking $1,200 for a phone, all this other shit. Now, mind you, all these phones retail are damn near $1,000, if not $1,000, maybe a little less.
I think they're more, man. If you were to buy them straight up?
If we want to buy them straight up, yeah. Because we live in an era now to where back in the days when we could go into a cell phone store, T-Mobile, Singular, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And if you wanted to start a new line or you were eligible for an upgrade, you go ahead and pay, $200, depending on what kind of phone it was. Maybe at the most, $300.
Right.
But for you broke motherfuckers out there that couldn't afford the shit, I think they switched their marketing scheme and said, hey, instead of you paying, the $200 right now, you can just go ahead and we'll just add it onto your bill and you pay on the phone monthly.
Haven't they been doing that for a while?
Well, it's been long enough.
Right.
I know I have this iPhone and I'm paying on that. Granted, I'm not going to go out and drop $1,000 on the phone.
Of course not. Nobody can. The average person doesn't.
Yeah, the average person's not going to do that. I mean, if you could pay off anything over time, like shit, even when we get tickets.
Right.
Yo, Judge, can I put some get payments? Yep, that's what it is. All right. But everyone is always scrutinizing, Apple, Android. Apple, Samsung, we know those are two leading competitors in this cell phone business. But people, What was my? I just lost my train of thought.
Oh my God!
But okay, I'm just honestly tired of hearing people say, "Oh, Apple's selling you the same shit." Yeah, they are. I mean, I came from an Android, but it got stolen, so that's the reason why I went to Apple. But all these phones are similar.
It's all the same shit.
It's all the same. Well, you obviously don't give a fuck about a phone because
I have the Galaxy 8. Thank you.
Yeah, but you don't pay for that.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, your job does that.
God bless.
If my job gave me a phone, definitely I would not complain. But honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and get that new iPhone.
You're kidding.
I'm.
Why are you just fucking selling your soul?
I'm not selling my soul. Due for an upgrade, and my fucking speaker is messed up.
What are you? You just want to be one of the fucking cool kids. That's what it is.
Not really.
Yeah, you do.
I was due for an upgrade.
No. You want to be one of the fucking cool kids.
Nah, because I was never one of those guys that when I got new stuff that I'm gonna put it online and people are like, oh yeah, I bossed up and got the new. Bro, nobody give a fuck because
you don't do that.
No, I don't.
Oh my,
I really don't.
You walked in wearing a fucking robe.
You're a fucking idiot, bro. But no, I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get the biggest one.
That's crazy, man.
Oh well.
It's crazy how fucking at one point, well, at the beginning, first when they first started, the fucking cell phones were big as shit. Then we went down to fucking the small ass little fucking small phones when I was like 10.
Which ones are Nokias?
The Nokia, the little small Nokias.
Yeah,
my sister had one from Sony that looked like literally looked like a fucking 4 or 5 inch dildo. Nice fucking small, you know, just a little tube.
Oh, I remember that. And you roll it up.
No, you just have to go bloop, just pull it up a little bit and boop, just fucking small, you know.
Yeah.
Who knows if I'll be able to find a picture of that shit, but and then they have the little square ones, the little flip phones, and now we're fucking in an age where we want them bigger and bigger and bigger and fucking bigger, and now here we are.
Yeah, because back then cell phones weren't they were an accessory. They weren't a daily part of life.
Right. And they were like fucking $6,000 when they first came out.
Well, we weren't born then.
But that's what they were.
I remember my dad. He had remember those old gray phones. The old big ass phone.
Yeah, the Zach Morris phone.
Yeah, he had one of those. And that shit didn't even have vibrate. It just rang. Every time I called him, motherfucker never picked up. Like, I'd hear the phone ring. Like, shit. But, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and cop that. I don't know about no new Apple Watch. I'm not really into all that shit. I just want a new phone.
I'm good.
Take better pictures.
I saw it, and they were showing one of the features and shit, like, and it was like a selfie from somebody, and they were just showing how you could blur out the background, so the fucking main character of the picture.
It's a portrait. Yeah, I have that on my phone now.
But
remember that they beat you when we raced?
That was
a portrait.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Where it's like it's nothing new. Like,
but
you're not doing anything. You're not reinventing the wheel anymore.
You're not.
You know?
It's like, what more can you do? But
do you think after Steve Jobs died, Apple went with him?
That's a good question. No.
You're crazy.
What else would...
Apple's fucking gone down.
How? Tell me how.
Number one. You know who the number one cell phone maker in the world is?
No, I don't know.
Samsung. Do you know who number 2 is?
Who?
Huawei. Do you hear me?
Spell Huawei.
Huawei. Type it in.
Spell it again.
Huawei. Am I right? Am I right?
No.
Yeah. How do you spell it?
I see it right here. I see it.
Can you please say it into the mic, please?
Huawei.
Okay, and how do you spell it?
W-U-A.
Is it W-U-A?
I'm sorry, H-U-A-W-E-I.
That's how you spell it? So I was correct.
I think probably because it's an international phone.
It is a phone company that makes phones. They're fucking, if you look up their most expensive phone, it's like the one that costs like fucking $2,000 or some shit like that. You look up at the megapixels on that motherfucker, and it's like in the 20s or some shit like that. Apple, 12.
But where's it produced?
Okay, so I'm getting to that. They are a phone maker in China.
I figured that.
Only in China.
Figured that.
And the U.S. is banning Huawei to enter the U.S. and we cannot fucking get Huawei phones if we don't want to. The only way we can get them is if you got them like on eBay or some shit from another market, and they gotta get them jailbroken, and then you could fucking get them on a fucking provider. But so they're number 2 in the world, and that's without the U.S. market, man. Can you believe that shit? That's with nothing in the U.S. and they're number 2 in the world. So what does that say?
I'm reading the stats on this.
Go ahead. You're going to find nothing but good things.
It seems like a credible phone.
And number 3, Apple.
Yeah, we just go with the flow.
Go ahead and accept status quo if you want to.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You want it to be a little robot? You want to be a little zombie?
No, I'm not running around here saying that I'm Apple this, Apple that. Shit, I still have a damn regular laptop, PC.
No, I think you are influenced by what the trends say. Yes,
no,
you are. Yes, you are.
Fucking kick this whole goddamn shit off. What are you writing?
Just writing my picks down, so we can both look at them, and you're gonna choose. You're gonna choose what you choose. I'm gonna choose what I choose.
Anything with the Chargers, I'm not going with, because the Chargers piss me off. They got their asses handed to them on Sunday.
They're gonna win this weekend.
Who do they play?
This weekend they are playing the Bills.
You really think they're gonna win?
I know they're gonna win.
I gotta make sure my fantasy is set up correct. Oh yeah, and did you guys start a fantasy league or no?
No, we didn't start no fucking fantasy league because nobody wants to get their ass whooped by me. You see that fucking trophy right there next to the TV?
And how long ago was that? Does that say 19?
You're fucking tripping.
97?
Does it say the year?
Yes.
2016.
We're in 2018.
2016. What sucks? I was the first guy in our league to win a title. Win an actual trophy. Because in 2015, you know who won it?
Who?
Me. You understand? I know about fantasy. So any of you guys that are listening to this shit, if you guys have any fantasy questions and you are on Twitter, go ahead and reach out to your boy because I created a nice...
No one talks to you.
Oh, shit. People do reach out. So I created, it's intentionally F1 or Twitter. Yeah, so that's my handle. I thought it was at something. But no, it's at intentionally F1 on Twitter. I don't have Instagram. That shit is weak. So if you guys have Twitter, Twitter's dope. You guys better
saying Instagram is weak.
You guys better jump on the fucking bandwagon. Don't you agree? Weren't you just saying that?
Jump on the bandwagon.
No, I'm talking about Instagram. That you're fucking sick of it already?
No, I mean...
You just didn't say that a little while ago?
I just learned how to put my phone down.
Talking about I'm getting ready to fucking
delete
it again.
That was Facebook.
Oh, yeah, you need to delete that. Instagram's the same thing. It's even worse because it's just pictures.
Yeah.
And you fucking stare at it while you're pooping.
Well, apparently, that's a way for me to get this podcast out there.
Good.
Since you don't have any Twitter followers.
Shit. Believe it or not.
How many do you have, Carlos?
I just created it.
No, I'm talking about your page.
For Twitter?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, dude, since I made this one public, the intentional
Yeah,
one.
I hope you would.
And I got just as many followers that I have on my regular one in like 3% of the time. Like I've been on Twitter for a long ass time.
Yeah, because you don't talk about shit. Go ahead.
Shit, you're fucking tripping. But I have a whopping 50 followers. Hey-o! Yeah. Yep. So I'll show you a bunch of the people over here liking my comments and retweeting my shit because I'm one funny bastard. So so if you guys want to laugh and shit like that, I also upload the link I will be uploading the link on SoundCloud onto my Twitter. So if you follow your boy at intentionally F1 on Twitter, holla at your boy.
Wow, they're not gonna talk to you.
Okay, well they should.
What else was there? There was something that... Oh, so how do you feel about that cop that killed that innocent black guy? I think it happened last week. She went to the wrong house and she thought.
Oh yeah, she fucking ran into the fucking house or something like that.
So she went to the wrong floor and she thought that she was on the right floor or whatever. She tried to stick her key, and it was one of those electric keys. And apparently, if you hear somebody at your door, somebody's jiggling your knob,
right,
you're gonna go outside. So she, as soon as he opened up the door, she shot him dead, assuming that he was a burglar in her house.
In her house.
Now, me working in my field, I traveled up many stairs. I automatically know if I'm going to, if it's unit 309, that's the 3rd floor. And you,
I don't know who the fuck you're looking at.
I'm just saying. It's just if it's 409, it's the 4th floor. But it's usually the unit number is either on the door or right beside the door.
Right.
So you telling me that she didn't see that and put 2 and 2 together? Like, oh shit, I'm at the wrong place.
So what are people thinking? This fucking story came out while I was at work, and fucking I unfortunately I didn't get too many details on it. But
no worries.
Supposedly that she possibly like had a vendetta against this guy or some shit like that.
It was an article. I have to go ahead and get the credible proof that they apparently dated.
Ooh.
Plot twist. They dated. So she used that. I thought someone was breaking into my house or had a burglar in my house to smoke his ass. Somebody else that stays in the building put up a video because apparently she said the door was ajar. Which contradicts with her saying that the key didn't work.
Right.
So if your door was ajar, why would you still put the key in the fucking door if it's already open?
Right.
What dumbass does that?
Right.
And the girl, she said, these doors can't even stay open ajar unless you prop them open.
Okay.
And she showed physical demonstrations. She said she even tried to put it ajar. It slammed closed. No wind, no anything. And they're charging her with first-degree manslaughter.
I'm reading right here that it says, in quotations, there are witnesses who said that before the gunshots, they heard the officer knocking at the door and repeatedly saying, "Let me in." Merritt told the Washington Post.
Wow.
Ain't that crazy?
And I think just because she thinks she's a cop.
She was arrested on manslaughter charge Sunday, 3 days after Jean was killed. The delay raised questions about why investigators held off on arresting the officer and about whether law enforcement authorities were showing differential treatment for one of their own. Uh-oh. Sheesh. That sucks, man.
Yeah, bro.
So they used to date?
Yeah, apparently that was what I was told.
This video is entitled "Dallas Officer Arrested After Killing Neighbor." Huh. Geyer, which is the cop's last name, Guyger, arrived home just before 10 p.m. Thursday and parked their car on the 4th level of the apartment building garage, which corresponds to the floors where the residents live. She tried to use her door key, which has an electrical chip, to open the apartment. But the door was already unlocked, documents say. She saw the large silhouette across the room and fired her handgun twice after Jean reportedly ignored her verbal commands, striking him once in the torso. She called 911, turned on the lights, and saw the apartment number on the door said 1478.
Stupid bitch.
Her apartment is directly below, 1378. Think she was drunk?
That's what was said before, too. That she was drunk. So, she should still be held accountable, though.
100%. So I wonder if they've done any fucking,
But the toxic I think she went to jail. She didn't even go to jail that same day. She went to jail. Did it happen on a Thursday?
Who knows?
But she didn't go to jail until that Saturday.
A video taken from the building shows the officer on the phone pacing back and forth outside the apartment and crying. Paramedics were later seen moving a man on a gurney and performing CPR on him. Merritt, the attorney, said that based on his conversations with police officials, there was probable cause to arrest Geyer, I'm probably pronouncing her last name wrong, on manslaughter charge. But he said investigators with the Texas Ranger Division, a separate state agency that took over the case, told him they wanted more evidence. Dallas Police Chief Renee Hall said that her office was in the process of obtaining an arrest warrant last week, but that it was postponed after the Texas Ranger Division asked for additional time to investigate after interviewing Geyer. A grand jury will ultimately decide the final charges against the officer and could consider charges such as murder, a first-degree felony, or lesser charge of manslaughter, a second-degree felony. That crazy, man. Women are crazy, dude.
Yes.
I'm just.
Crazy
Of course,
as fuck.
there's more shit that's gonna come out. She's been released on bail, $300,000 bail.
Oh, she was released?
Released on bail.
Well, you only got to put up 10%.
What else? Yeah.
It's 30 racks.
Yeah, man. Sheesh. That sucks. I wonder what's gonna happen with that. I'm sure a lot more fucking details are gonna come out. Sucks for the family.
But at the same time, though, this is what's actually going to come to light. What's going to be said for us.
I want to say like what really happened. Let me in. He opens the door. What the fuck? And then leap. Start shooting.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. That's crazy. I wonder what really happened.
We'll never know because there's two sides of the story, and if they want to manipulate her side and make it seem like she was unaware, she was trying to quote unquote defend herself, or she felt threatened by a black man.
Right. Nah.
Then that's racial.
Man, it's a bad fucking. Whatever comes of it's gonna be fucked up. It's weird, but I hope. In a weird way, I hope this is like not racial, and she was doing it out of passion. Like, hopefully, she was dating.
Oh yeah. I don't think it was anything racial like that.
Because if it was racial, like somehow like that, and they let her off, it's gonna be fucking. It's just gonna divide the country even more than it already is.
Yeah, this shit is way still divided. Like even when people found out that Nike was, backing Colin Kaepernick, and they were paying him. Like, people were honestly upset and burning their Nikes.
Yep.
I don't get that. He's not being disrespectful he's just trying to show light. And somebody, who was it, Dak Prescott, fucking bitch, said there are other ways to show light. You Uncle Tom ass motherfucker, bro. If that shit happened to anybody, well, actually I had a quote that said, no one cares until it actually happens to somebody that they know.
Of course.
And it wasn't somebody that he knew. He was just trying to bring light to it. He's not shitting on the flag or anything like that. But the one of the leading brands in this world is backing him, and now people are upset. And they're burning their shit that they already paid for.
And the joke's on the NFL because their fucking jerseys are made by Nike. So what are you gonna fucking do?
Yeah, didn't they re-sign that contract?
Who knows?
I know they're gonna be there for a while.
It's just a fucked up situation. Like that's why wouldn't they want to fucking back somebody like Colin Kaepernick? And all the racists are like, fuck this. I'm burning my fucking jerseys and I'm burning my socks, cutting my socks. But it's like, dude, what is that doing? Like, Nike already got their money. Like you already.
That's what I said. It's a waste.
Yeah. It's like it'd be one thing if you were lighting their factories on fire or something. Okay, then you're talking.
But crazy part is that they said that the sales went up after that.
Oh yeah, their stock went up too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you guys are fucking morons. Or maybe not their stock, but their sales fucking shot up like I don't know some ridiculous number. But yeah,
it was like 30%.
Yeah, something. That's what I saw. I thought I saw the same thing. But yeah, it's like they're fucking morons, man. And they say, like I've heard even some people say, Nike's just getting behind this to strictly make money. They don't fucking believe in that shit. They're just catching this wave right now, this racial wave, and they're profiting from it. But
they
Nike,
were willing to morally put their brand on the line. If you look at it from that aspect,
right? But I'm saying that's bullshit because Nike has been doing this and always bucking the system just in case, just fucking as early as Michael Jordan. When he came out, shoes were not his type of shoes were not allowed on the fucking thing.
Oh yeah.
Hence the Jordan number 1s being banned. So Nike's always been on the fucking cutting edge of fucking rebelling and going against the system, and this is just another occasion of them doing the same shit, which is dope. We need companies to do that shit. It's just sad that too many fucking don't do it more often.
I'm sorry. I'd have put up this post and now I'm getting like feedback from it.
Oh God, nobody's blowing you up. Nobody gives a shit about you or what you're doing. But anyway, so yeah, Nike's laughing at you morons that are fucking cutting up your socks and lighting shit on fire. That's moronic.
I seen another article. I don't know if that shit was true. Ford. Ford was backing Colin Kaepernick too, and someone said, Oh, so you guys are going to bring your F-150s
Yeah,
up
bring
now?
the F1. Yeah, bet now it's gonna be all fucked up.
But I'm not sure if that's credible, though.
No, but I saw a meme as well, and I'm sure everybody has seen it. If you haven't, fucking look for it. I'm sure you'll see it. That people are real quick, or racists are real quick to boycott Nike and just stop buying Nike products because of Colin Kaepernick, but they still haven't decided to boycott Catholicism.
Oh yeah, I've seen that, touching all those boys.
When like case after case after hundreds of cases and evidence of little boys being molested, you guys don't boycott religion or Catholicism? Why don't you guys boycott that? Like, there's been plenty of cases of fucking kids getting molested, but you guys are out here cutting your Nike socks up.
But the people, I mean, this is just a tangent off. The people that are upset about it, they don't even wear the type of Nikes we wear. They wear the Grill Master 3000s. You know, those white Nikes.
Those shitty ass ones.
The white Nikes
the ones that nurses wear.
Yeah, or the ones you get from Big Five.
Or the ones that you wear when one leg is longer than the other.
Oh.
Oh! Whoops.
You're stupid.
Okay.
But what were you saying again? About Catholicism.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's been numerous fucking cases in it. But
why don't they boycott that? Boycott that.
They won't. They bring in religion, and of course, the priest is supposed to be like
Conspiracy of Silence. If you haven't seen it, YouTube it. It's about 45-50 minutes. Talks about all that shit and why pedophilia and all that shit is on our fucking society today, because it's a huge conspiracy of silence that all the people, all the motherfuckers hires up in the government and in huge companies, not saying Nike, but that's an example of a huge company, all those fuckers are pedophiles, and they all pass these fucking poor, innocent young kids around, and they're all in a circle, and since they're all dirty, they all cannot fucking confess to anything, because the circle is so strong, and it's filled with so many strong and powerful people.
That's a sick ass.
Conspiracy of Silence on YouTube. It's about how Boys Town in Nebraska, if I'm not mistaken, but Boys Town is a kind of like an orphanage for boys, or like an after-school program for boys, some shit like that. Once you guys pull up the fucking the documentary, you'll see. But one fucking sick bastard started it, and then started almost pimping these fucking kids out all over the country to higher-ups and religious people and all this other shit. So watch that shit so you can see how fucking dirty this fucking government is and shit like that, man. So, and then on another thing, if you're gonna go even fucking deeper on the same subject, you fucking look up not Spygate, fucking Pizzagate. Pizzagate. Fuck's calling me from Ohio. You'll get it when I get it, motherfucker. Anyway, but anyway, yeah, fuck that. Nobody, anybody calls you from Ohio, I don't know. Anybody from fucking Ohio, fuck you. Anyway, Pizzagate. Fucking go on Pizzagate on YouTube or Google Pizzagate. That shit is fucking deep. We can go on a whole fucking episode on Pizzagate.
But I don't understand, like, what kind of sick ass person do you have to be to want to
Dude, trip out.
Do you think it's a power thing? Like,
no. Not just a power thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just something as not simple, but as explainable as, it's just like, why do some people have toe fetishes? Why do some people like to get fucking piped in the ass? Why do some people like fucking getting, I don't know, fucking trees? You know what I mean? Like, why is there? Some people just have those fetishes. They didn't ask to have that fucking fetish in their brain, that chemical imbalance, whatever the fuck it is, in your brain. They don't have that. So, and I say that because, again, what I'm gonna say is not making any excuses about anything. I'm just saying what the fuck I heard, okay? So on this podcast, his name is Christopher Ryan. He's like an anthropologist and all this other shit. And they talk about the mind and consciousness and all this other shit, right? Fucking dope-ass doctor. So he has a podcast with, he's on an episode with Joe Rogan, and he's talking about how on another podcast, Christopher Ryan, he talks about how they got into the mind and how shit works and why things happen to certain people, why sometimes people, they say they're born gay or things happen to them and throughout their life that turns them gay. So they talk about like pedophilia and shit like that. And they go into that topic, and he talks about how it's kind of like just something like a fetish or whatever the fuck. He goes into detail about it. So he's talking to Joe Rogan about that podcast, and he's like, man, after that podcast, you don't know how many emails, hundreds of emails of not regular guys, but guys that reaching out to him and like thanking him and saying, man, like you putting this shit out there, like this information that we're not all monsters, you know, that we have like this chemical imbalance. And okay, I'm dead serious, dude. I'm just telling you what I heard, right? So he talks about like so this guy that's sending him an email, he talks about an email, right? And I because this shit's super deep. So this guy sends him an email like, man, I am an ex, whatever his age was. I'm a fucking, let's say 45-year-old male, and I live and suffer through this every fucking day of having this illness, and the illness is that I'm attracted to kids. I've never. Bro, this is what he's saying, man. And this is what the email's saying. He's like, I never act on it, but I'm living a life of just fucking of loneliness. I'll never have a mate. I'll never have a partner.
He wants to fuck kids?
That's just like, you know what, I guess gets him off. You know what I mean? Again, I'm just saying what the fuck he said. I'm not vouching for anything, but I just thought like, whoa, like, again, how fucking torturing it must be that you have your pleasure. And again, it doesn't have to be kids. Let's say playing basketball. Playing basketball will get you life in prison, and you're going to fucking jail for the rest of your life.
Are you saying that because I'm black?
No, I'm just using that as an example. Like how crazy must that be if that something that actually brings you joy, which is something so disgusting and disturbing, makes you happy. You know what I mean? And you knowing that it's wrong, it's against the law, it's fucking you.
It's morally.
Yeah, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable 1,000 times. But it's like, just imagine having that fucking illness in you, man. You know what I mean? And fuck, it's horrendous, dude. Just imagine what kind of torture, man. So
nah, you should.
That's horrible, man.
That torture, bro. That's. I mean, because even like when.
But you think they chose that though?
I don't.
Because that's horrible, man.
It's an influence. It's an influence. Like even when we have guy talk or whatever, and you know a girl is mentioned or whatnot, right. And I'm like, bro, we're what? We're 31. Well, I'm 31, right. And if it's mentioned that a girl's like 22, I'm like, bro, she's a kid.
Right.
You know, like Jesus
Christ. Of course. You know, I say,
but she's grown.
Right.
But you're looking at kids.
Right. 100%. I no, what I'm asking is like what I'm asking is like they say, for example, I remember when I was going to my sorry ass psychology. I shouldn't say sorry. It was a fucking dope class. It was a psychology class when I was going to college, and they talked about how
thousands of years ago.
This shit, you're right. They're talking about that when the brain is developing and shit like that. Not all and always, but it does happen. That when, like, your brain is developing in, like, sections, right? So, for example, again, I'm paraphrasing this because it's been so fucking long, but, for example, from the ages of 0 to 3, you are, you're trying to identify objects, right? Okay. And then by fucking, and remembering things, right? Sponge. And then from fucking 3 to, let's say, 6, you're identifying what your identity is, what your gender is, and you're fucking getting used to playing with your little nuts and shit like that. You know what I mean? You're being curious. You know what I mean? So when things happen to you, let's say, and then by the ages of fucking 6 to 11, you're learning how to interact with people and mm-hmm. form relationships, right? Mm-hmm. So if, let's say, a poor kid, again, fucking, I'm not endorsing any of this shit, but let's say the kid gets molested at the age of, let's say, 7 or 8 mm-hmm. or whatever. That's when the brain chemically becomes imbalanced. Yeah, and it shifts. Like let's say you jump the road.
But like it's just
and goes in a different direction.
Yeah, I can use that as an example. Like when my dad passed away, my brain shifted.
Right.
And so I was doing things and I was lashing out, but I definitely wasn't thinking that I should go fuck a baby.
Yeah, I know that. You were cutting me off on the fuck I was trying to say. Yeah, so that's how people. So that's how some things happen. So I can see how. you don't know what's going to happen when this kid that got molested, what's going to happen when he gets older, right? So maybe when he gets older, now because of that incident that happened to him when he was 6 years old, now in his mind he thinks it's okay
I hear what you're
to
saying.
fuck with kids. You know what I mean?
Well,
because now the whole chemical balance in his brain has shifted.
Okay.
Now he's not playing by the same rules, so to speak.
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
So
I get what you're saying.
So what I'm saying is now he becomes a pedophile because he got raped when he was young. So do you think, let's say that guy that now became the pedophile, if he has a kid, do you think that baby that's gonna come out, do you think he's gonna probably have that pedophile gene?
No.
Why not?
It's not a gene. It's an
You don't think it could be born with it?
No.
Why not? You can't. People aren't born gay.
No.
People are not born gay.
People are not born gay.
Oh my God!
It's an influence, bro. So whatever, like
what?
As much gay shit is out here, and even when gay couples, when they adopt kids, they'll even say whoever the baby wants to do.
So I'm gonna give you. You're saying that there's no way they're born gay.
There's no way they can be born gay.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So I think it's both. I think some people can turn gay because something that possibly happens to them, or they are born gay.
It's an influence.
No, it's not an influence.
Yes, it is, because you have to be influenced to want to go around taking dick and ass.
So there's plenty of evidence of kids that were adopted by gay parents that are now older and are not gay. So if they were surrounded by gay people and the fucking parents in their home
you
were
still
gay.
have to make that choice.
No. If you're not sexually, if you see nothing but love in front of you, right, and they're fucking gay parents, let's say 2 men, 2 women, whatever the fuck. If you're saying that it's their environment, and if they see nothing but good model employees, and parents, and they happen to be gay, why wouldn't you choose to be gay? If you're saying it's
because you're naturally chemically wired.
You're chemically wired to like what you're gonna like right out the womb.
That's stupid.
No. So what I'm saying is, if I'm fucking raised,
you can be curious about.
I'll tell you this right.
May not work for you.
I'll tell you this right now. If I was in jail for the rest of my life and never got released, I wouldn't want to get fucked or want to fuck a man ever, because that doesn't get me hard, so to speak. So same thing here. In your wiring, you are gonna know if you want a fucking woman or a fucking guy, right? So even if 2 gay guys raised me, guys would not all of a sudden start turning me on just because I'm surrounded by them. That I'm saying it could be both, but to say that people are not born fucking gay, that's an impossibility. That's wrong.
That's your opinion.
That's dead fucking wrong.
That's your opinion.
I was walking through me and Yvette were walking through a fucking a bookstore in Long Beach. And they were just like books like they were selling and shit, like $1, $2, whatever.
Yeah, that's what
like
the stores do.
I know, but like the section where they just like giving shit out, right? It's not even fucking, it's just trash. So I was reading one of them, and one of the books was it was just a compilation of people's coming out stories. And all of them were different, obviously. Some of them were fucking super sad. But one thing had in common. They all had different ages that they came out. Mm-hmm. But a lot of them did say that I knew from, like, I was 3, 2, I knew I didn't like boys. Like, from the jump. And they'll say, I never, ever, nothing ever had anything wrong happen to my family. I was never molested. None of that bullshit.
That's bullshit.
I just knew. I knew from the beginning. But in the beginning, the mom or whoever it was, they put dresses on them. So they played the role just to keep going. But as they got older and started became sexually active, they've had, according to the stories that they wrote, remind you, these are real stories from gay people. They're coming out stories. They say, from the beginning, I never had attracted to boys. Never. Until when they started hitting puberty, then they started realizing that they like girls. And girls only. They've always liked girls. No. That's not true. No. So the stories that they're writing are lies.
I think it's bullshit, bro.
Everything
is an influence. Like,
what?
It's just like, I'm going to go back to my story. I grew up around a bunch of females. I'm one of the realest motherfuckers you know. Ain't nothing gay in my body. I was fucking molested too. I was molested and that shit fucked with me, but it definitely didn't make me want dick. I don't even like looking at my own dick.
So, yeah, but but you were wired already to like females.
I didn't even, well, Yeah, but you can't. That's like.
You were off the womb. You were
okay, but you're already
okay.
So it takes a male and a female to create, correct?
Of course.
So you're telling me that the male, somewhere in the male's genes, that there's that gay gene just floating around, just came out in his nut, and then all of a sudden his kid's gonna be gay.
You've heard of genetic mutation, right?
I've heard
random genetic mutation.
Yeah.
That can happen.
That's stupid.
No, it's not stupid.
It's not stupid.
That's ridiculous. What are you talking about? That's how evolution started with dogs.
No, we're not gonna even talk about evolution.
You don't want to go there because I got plenty of ammo. You're fucking lucky the hour just came up. Yeah. I was getting ready to just shoot through your shit.
God damn.
I want to appreciate the people that hang on. If we had 10 followers, we'll probably have like 2 now. So because of you.
I was honestly asked last week. Words intentionally foul.
See what I'm talking about?
Like,
that's what I'm talking about.
Hey man, people like our stuff.
Shit. Yeah. So, dude, I just got a fucking text message from an ex-employee that used to work for me, and he was not the best model employee. Nice guy, but the fucker showed up late to work every fucking day, and was not the greatest. And before he left, he again, cool guy. But I'm always honest with my fucking employees, right? And he's like, hey, man, are you able to, you think you'd be able to write a reference letter for me? And in my head, I'm like, you fucking trick. Like, you fucking show up late every day. How can you have the audacity? How do some people, like, not have the self-awareness of what the fuck they do? And this guy, can you write me a fucking reference letter, please? And the fucking nice guy in me says, yeah, sure, man. But I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice. Okay, come hit me in 2 weeks. This fucker, he puts in his 2 weeks notice. Guess how many days he comes in?
2.
4. 4 days out of the 2 weeks. 4 fucking days out of the 2 weeks. So I said, okay, fuck it. That's one less thing I have to do. I was just gonna be a nice guy and give him the fucking reference letter so he can get the fuck out of my life.
Go ahead, bro.
He didn't fucking show up. I said, thank God. One less thing I gotta fucking do in my life. God bless. I didn't have to give him that bad fucking news. Guess who just fucking texted me right now?
He did.
That same fucking jerk. Talking about, hey man, I hope everything's well. Do you think you'll give me that reference letter by Saturday? Excuse me?
So what are you gonna do, bro?
I'm gonna tell him to fuck off. Dude, are you fucking kidding me? How dare you? Now that he doesn't work for me and he can report me to HR, the gloves are off. Now I'm gonna tell him the truth.
Tell him the truth.
You're fucking tripping. Some people, man.
A reference letter.
Can you write me a fucking reference letter?
A reference for what?
This is the type.
Tell him how shitty you are?
I'm gonna send him shirt. I'm gonna tell him, dude, I printed it up for you. Check it out when you get a chance. It's gonna be his fucking employee record. And how many times he fucking showed up late. 21 working days out of the month. He showed up late 20 times.
Does he have transportation issues?
No! He's a fucking jerk. That's not self-aware.
Anyways.
That's enough for me.
Thank you guys again for listening to our podcast. I would like to apologize for my tardiness about last week's podcast.
Your absence.
But you surely did not give me my motherfucking credit today for being on time.
Oh,
you gotta give me my fucking credit. You said 2:30. That motherfucking black beast out there.
You showed up like at 2:27.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Great win today, but you lost 600 times in the past. So you're 1 in 600.
Well. That's all right. Yeah, you got to start somewhere.
I guess the journey of 1,000 steps starts with that first one.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Anyways, but thank you guys again. Don't forget to follow us on SoundCloud, and we still do have the YouTube up. Los makes clips and different things to reference what we're talking about. It's actually pretty good. Intentionally foul. I am B Live, and Los is Los. We'll tune in next week for episode 10. And we out.